All right, everybody, this came highly recommended since I initially only reacted to the voice lines for Aatrox when I started reacting to him, and we didn't really dive into his story and things like that. So we're going to do the story and biography for Aatrox, as well as his like champion gameplay spotlight, and then we didn't do the actual interactions. We only did the voice lines last time. So let's go ahead and dive in. All right, Aatrox the Darkin Blade. I must destroy even hope is the quote we have here. And then we have race is Darkin, which we knew. Role is fighter. Region is just Runeterra. And then related champions, we have Kane, Varus, which are obviously other Darkin, and Tryndamere, which we've only reacted to Kane, so go check out that reaction if you haven't already. But Varus and Tryndamere, of course, are going to be future reactions at some point. And then the paragraph here says, once honored defenders of Shurima against the Void, Aatrox and his brethren would eventually become an even greater threat to Runeterra and were defeated only by cunning mortal sorcery. But after centuries of imprisonment, Aatrox was the first to find freedom once more, corrupting and transforming those foolish enough to try and wield the magical weapon that contained his essence. Now with stolen flesh, he walks Runeterra in a brutal approximation of his previous form, seeking an apocalyptic and long overdue vengeance. All right, this guy is going to be interesting. All right, let's start off with the biography portion first. Whether mistaken for a demon or a god, many tales have been told of the Darkin Blade, but few know his real name or the story of his fall. In ancient times, long before desert sands swallowed the empire, a mighty champion of Shurima was brought before the sun disk to become the avatar for a now forgotten celestial ideal. Remade as one of the Ascended, his wings were the golden light of dawn, and his armor sparkled like a constellation of hope from beyond the great veil. Aatrox was his name. He was at the vanguard of every noble conflict. So true and just was his conduct that other god warriors would always gather at his side, and 10,000 mortals of Shurima marched behind him. When Sataka, the Ascended Warrior Queen, called for his help against the rebellion of Ikathia, Aatrox answered without hesitation. Okay, so he was revered as like a, just a warrior and everything beforehand even. But no one predicted the extent of horrors that the rebels would unleash. The Void quickly overwhelmed its Ikathian masters and began the grinding annihilation of all life it encountered. After many years of desperate battle, Aatrox and his brethren finally halted the Void's perverse advance and seared the largest rifts shut. But the surviving Ascended, the self-described Sunborn, had been forever changed by what they had encountered. Though Shurima had triumphed, they all had lost something in their victory, even noble Aatrox. And in time, Shurima fell, as all empires must, without any monarch to defend or the existential threat of the Void to test them. And Shurima fell because of Azir and all that stuff, right? Which we know that story a little bit, but we haven't reacted to Azir and Nasus and Renekton and all of them yet. We haven't done that. Aatrox and the Sunborn began to clash with one another, and eventually this became a war for the ruins of their world. Mortals fleeing the conflicts came to know them instead by a new and scornful name, the Darkin. Fearing that these fallen Ascended were as dangerous to Runeterra's survival as the Void incursions had been, the Targonians intervened. It is said that the aspect of Twilight, which is Zoe, right, gave mortals the knowledge to trap the Darkin, and the newly reborn aspect of war united many in fighting back against them. Okay, so the newly reborn aspect of war would be Pantheon, right? Never fearing any foe, Aatrox and his armies were ready, and he realized only too late that they had been deceived. A force greater than 1,000 dead suns pulled him inside the sword he had carried into battle countless times, and forever bound his immortal essence to it. The weapon was a prison, sealing his consciousness and suffocating eternal darkness, robbing him even of the ability to die. For centuries, he strained against the hellish confinement, until some nameless mortal was foolish enough to try and wield the blade once more. Aatrox seized upon this opportunity, forcing his will and an imitation of his original form onto his bearer, though the process quickly drained all life from the new body. Okay, so wait, the person that picked it up, is it just some nobody? Because usually with these stories, like there's some sort of connection with like the person or something like that with the Darkin. But this one, is it just really some nobody? And then Aatrox took over used his original form on the bearer? Interesting. In the years that followed, Aatrox groomed many more hosts, men and women of exceptional vitality or fortitude. Yeah, it's just randoms, okay. Though his grasp of such magics had been limited in life, he learned to take control of a mortal in the span of a single breath, and in battle he discovered he could feast on his victims to build himself even larger ever larger and stronger. Aatrox traveled the land searching desperately, endlessly for a way to return to his previous Ascended form, but the riddle of the blade proved unsolvable, and in time he realized he would never be free of it. The flesh he stole and crudely shaped began to feel like a mockery of his former glory, a cage only slightly larger than the sword. Despair and loathing grew in his heart. The heavenly powers that Aatrox had once embodied had been wiped from the world and all memory. Raging against this injustice, he arrived at a solution that could only be born of a prisoner's desperation. If he could not destroy the blade or free himself, then he would embrace oblivion instead. Now Aatrox marches toward this merciless goal, bringing war and death wherever he goes. He clings to a blind hope. If he can drive all of creation into a final apocalyptic battle where everything else is destroyed, then maybe he and the blade will also cease to exist. Dude just wants to end the world because he doesn't want to be there anymore. Like, I mean, obviously it's super selfish. Super selfish. He doesn't want to be in the Darkin form anymore. He's like, he can't figure out a way to go back to his ascended form. And so he's like, okay, if I can't have what I want, everybody else gets to die. That's the basis of his knowledge here, it seems like. Let's go ahead and read the story. I'm very curious what the story could be about for him. Do we have another, no, I was going to say, do we have another relationship here at the bottom? We don't. The story is called The Cage by Odin Austin Schaefer. Darkness. The breath I cannot take plagues me. It is an emptiness in my lungs and throat, as if I had stopped mid-breath and then held my lungs cruelly waiting. My mouth open, throat hollow, unable to pull in air. My chest, the horrible tension on my thorax. My limbs and muscles refuse to move. I cannot breathe. I am choking. The pressure builds. The stillness spreads to my chest and limbs. I want to scream, to tear at my face, to wail, but I am trapped. I cannot move. I cannot move. That sounds terrifying, by the way. Darkness. I must remember the battle. I lost control. It was foolish. The mortals formed in ranks against me. I crashed into them, drank from them. The temptation was too great. As I reaped, I reforged their flesh into a better approximation of my true shape. Desperately, I consumed more and more, hoping for the briefest echo of what I once was. Instead, like a fire, I burned too quickly, destroying even my host's form. Darkness. It was raining when we fought. What if the mud and filth cover me? What if I'm hidden for thousands of years, trapped in this prison? The horror of that idea feeds my panic. The battle is ending. I can feel it. I must will my form upright. I must. I have no arms or legs. The darkness binds me like a cocoon. So this is the blade after a battle, right? The battle is ending. I can feel it. So this is him being worried that like his form, the person that he took over, is about to die or did die in this battle, right? And there, Aatrox is afraid he's not going to be found again. No, I will myself upright, but I can't know if it is working. I cannot know anything but the darkness. Please let some mortal find me. Please, I beg the darkness endlessly, but the humiliation of my plea is answered only with silence. But then I feel a mortal nearby. I have no eyes, no ears, but I can feel his approach. He is fleeing from adversaries. He must try to defend himself. He must grasp me. Can he see me? He could run past me. I would be left here. I feel his hand grip this form, and his consciousness opens to me. I burrow into him, pulling him down. I am like a drowning man thrown into the sea by a shipwreck, dragging myself to the surface by clawing past my fellows. What's happening? The mortal screams, but he is silenced by the darkness, the endless darkness I have just escaped, and I have eyes. Okay, so the mortal then essentially takes the place of like only seeing darkness, and then Aatrox is the one that has eyes. That's interesting, okay? I can see the falling rain, the muck, the blood of his slaughtering field. In front of me stand two weary knights with spears. I cut them apart and drink in their forms, recrafting this body to my needs. They are weak. I must move quickly. I must find a better wielder, a better host. Around me are only the dead and dying. I hear their souls retreating from this world. The fighting has not ended. It's moved inside the city walls. I force my new shape, limping, crawling toward the sounds of battle, toward a better host. I roar, but not in triumph, never in triumph. I will drink from that city, but I will achieve only a grotesque mockery of my former glory. I was shaped by the stars and the purity of my aspect. I was light and reason and given shape. I defended this world in the greatest battles ever known. Now, blood and ichor drips from the stolen flesh as it decays. The muscles and bones struggle, tear, and protest the abomination I have become. I take a breath. No, Aatrox, I say, my voice wet and echoing off the dead that surround me. We will go onward and onward and onward until the final oblivion comes. Whoa. Okay, that was a really like short, simple story, but it taught me a little bit about the blade, right? About Aatrox, about how his thinking is like as he inevitably cannot become his former glory of, you know, an ascended. And so that's what literally drives him to find a better mortal or a better shape or a better form to take over. but nobody's ever going to be as good as, you know, taking over an Ascended. So that's why, you know, it's getting me into his brain, into thinking like why he wants this final Oblivion. And it's really why. He can't go back to his former glory. He doesn't want to be this blade anymore. He doesn't want to be this, you know what I mean, just stuck in this blade. So yeah, I mean, I thought this was a really simple story, and it showed us a lot about his ideology. He just wants to kill everybody. I mean, he wants Oblivion, which is pretty simple. But like, I guess I see why. I'm not saying he's right? He's never, the people that want final Oblivion or just, you know, complete apocalyptic Oblivion, never right. But the idea of why he wants it is solidified to me because of like the story and the biography we just read, in my opinion. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on to some of the trailers for him and like his gameplay spotlight and things like that. And then we're going to check out like some other stuff like the Fandom Wiki. And then, of course, we're going to check out the interactions. All right, we're going to be watching Aatrox the Darkin Blade Champion trailer. Let's check it out. The volume up here. So this is about 4 years old. This is when Aatrox must have been reworked. Okay, look at this dude. Oh no, Yasuo. He's so much bigger than Yasuo. Oh, is that Kaisa? Dang, just taking them all. Wow. That's so cool. Huh? Wow. Dude, his voice lines go so hard. Okay, that's really cool. Dang, that was dope. All right, let's go ahead and do his gameplay now. All right, let's check out the champion spotlight.
This is Aatrox, the Darkin Blade. A fallen god warrior bound to an ancient weapon, Aatrox is hellbent on bringing total obliteration upon everyone who crosses his warpath. He's an unstoppable juggernaut that dishes out massive damage with mid-ranged attacks, fighting till death, and then some.
Fighting till death and then some. Okay,
Welcome
so what does he do
Aatrox
when he
Champion
dies?
Spotlight.
Huh.
Aatrox's passive is Deathbringer stance.
Okay.
Every once in a while, Aatrox's next basic attack has increased range and damages the target for a percentage of their maximum health.
Interesting.
His attack also reduces all healing and shielding on the target for a few seconds. Deathbringer Stance's cooldown is slightly reduced whenever Aatrox activates an ability, and additionally when he lands the edge of his Q, the Darkin Blade, on a champion.
Okay.
Speaking of which, let's talk about his Q, the Darkin Blade. Aatrox swings his greatsword up to 3 times. Each cast increases in damage and impacts a different area of effect. His Q has a sweet spot. Precise hits with the Darkin Blade further increase the damage and knock up targets.
Okay.
On the first cast, the sweet spot is at the very tip. On the second, it's along the outer edge. And on the final cast, it's at the very center, immediately in front of Aatrox.
So it changes.
Each cast of the Darkin Blade brings the hitbox closer to Aatrox, so keep advancing to go 3 for 3.
Got it.
Each Q also increases the damage, regardless if you landed the previous one, for about twice as much on the final cast. Now that's what I call tons of damage.
Yeah.
Aatrox can be a real bastard sword in lane. The range on his Q lets him poke, punish, and push lane against melee and even mid-range foes. You know what they say, 2-handers are better than 1.
Dang.
Aatrox W is
The range is pretty
Infernal
good.
Chains. Aatrox smashes the ground, damaging and slowing the first enemy hit. If it's a champion or large monster, they're chained to the impact area. If they don't leave the area to break the tether, they're dragged to the center and take damage again. If they break free, they'll be insubordinate and churlish.
Okay.
Infernal Chains pulls enemies to the same spot every time. Uses the tee up a Q for the perfect smackdown. Aatrox's E is Umbral Dash, which can store up to 2 charges. Passively,
How's it
Aatrox
different?
heals for a portion of the physical damage he deals.
Okay.
When activated, he dashes a short distance and gains attack damage for a few seconds. You
I
can
see.
Umbral Dash in combination with his other abilities to reposition, helping you land abilities like the sweet spot of the Darkin Blade.
Okay.
Umbral Dash is usually too short, much like the real dash, to be used for chasing
Oh, it's so
or
tiny.
escaping, but it's
Oh.
just enough to get you over some walls.
I was gonna say it's so
Ta-da!
tiny.
Use Umbral Dash mid.
That'd be really broken if you could dash further, right?
More Q hits.
That'd be so broken.
Aatrox's ultimate is World Ender.
World Ender. Oh.
Did you think you could kill me?
Wait. What
Aatrox
happens?
unleashes his full might, becoming monstrous in size and taking flight on massive wings. As he transforms, Aatrox fears nearby minions and briefly increases his movement speed.
Even his own.
The speed bonus is reactivated while out of combat. While transformed, Aatrox's attack damage is increased, and he gains a blood well that revives him if he takes lethal damage.
Oh, interesting.
The blood well fills up over World Ender's duration, meaning the longer you've transformed, the more health you'll have upon reviving.
Oh, wow,
as
okay.
long as you die before you return to your puny humanoid form.
Oh, because if you don't, what happens?
With
It just
World
doesn't
Ender,
heal
can
you.
really wing it. The extra damage and revive means you can tower dive with impunity. When you're far away from the fight, you can ult early to give your doom some zoom, and arrive when the party is still going strong.
He does move really fast.
His screams will be like the soothing hum of insects and dust.
When you're ready to bring ruin, go big with World Ender. Once you're in the war zone, lock down lesser warriors with infernal chains and make them cry with a QQQ.
Huh.
As chaos unfolds, use Umbral Dash and Flash to stay on top of your fodder and treat him to the sweet spot of your blade.
So what does everybody think about this new rework versus like the old Aatrox?
Don't bother running from a Darkin. None can escape their wrath.
I assume it's better.
Thanks for tuning in to the Aatrox Champion Spotlight.
But maybe that's naive of me.
Will be annihilated.
Whoa. Oh, I don't know how I feel about this skin. That looks kind of like a Gundam, and it doesn't look good. I don't know. It looks really weird for Aatrox. That also looks weird. Ooh, I don't know how I feel about some of the skins. Like, I guess they just don't fit his character because he's supposed to be like a world ender, right? He's supposed to be like this crazy, like, Darkin blade. Just, I don't know. And these kind of make him look more cartoony, I feel like. I mean, although the blade here looks cool, it's just like the colors maybe of Aatrox and everything here. Yeah, interesting. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on. Okay, it looks like Aatrox was added to Legends of Runeterra about 4 months ago, so let's go ahead and check this out.
This place and the endless blood.
Okay, I want to read these cards real fast. The World Ender. You may put any non-champion Darkin into your deck during deck building. Once you've played or summoned 3+ different other Darkin, draw an Aatrox. And then Aatrox, the card itself, is a 5/5 for 6. Origin, the World Ender. Auto-equip the Darkin Blade. When I'm summoned or strike, heal your Nexus 2 and create a World Ender in your hand if you don't have one. So this, okay. Level up when you've played a World Ender. Got it. Cool, let's see it. Let's see it.
Cast us to the corners of the world.
The Darkin Spear.
We used weapons of war and became them.
Ah. We used weapons of war and then became them.
Not even realms could divide us, old friend. War is no place for cowards.
The Darkin Blade, there it is. Then Aatrox came out. World Ender. Whoa, 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 whoa. What is this? Assimilate. Transform allies equipped with Darkin equipment into their Darkin unit forms. If they are champions, they level up. World Ender 13. Slow. Reduce my cost by 1 for each time an equipped or Darkin ally has struck this game. Assimilate allies equipped with Darkin. So you want to make a Darkin straight up deck with Aatrox and Legend of Runeterra on this one. Okay.
All must end.
Oh, that animation. Oh, that was a cool animation. Okay, here we go. This is a new form of him. He leveled up. The Darkin Blade. Darkin allies that's auto-equipped to in Overwhelm. Darkin allies cost 5 less. When I'm summoned or strike, heal your Nexus 2.
We were never fated to bow. No, Pantheon. You were fated to die.
Pantheon.
Destroy everything. Pray, fool.
Man.
Apocalypse comes.
Even just seeing Aatrox in Legends of Runeterra really makes me not want to go up against this guy. Okay, what other cards are there in here that we didn't see? I think this bottom row, Aatrox's Deathbringer Sweep. Aatrox and an enemy strike each other, create a Deathbringer slash in your hand. Deathbringer slash, okay. These are just like his abilities, right? Aatrox and enemies strike each other. Aatrox and enemies strike each other. Okay. The Darkin Spear. We saw this briefly. Attack. Grant the top 2 allies in your deck +1/+1. You may spend 8 mana to play me as Anaka? Wait, who is Anaka? Wait, so that's the actual Darkin Spear, but this is the name of the spear. I am assuming? I've never heard of Anaka. From the top 6 cards of your deck, summon an attacking follower or non-champion Darkin. Okay. Interesting. Anaka must not be like an actual playable character in League of Legends, obviously. It's just like a side champion. Interesting. Cool. Yeah, Aatrox is a very scary person, even in a card game. Don't want to go up against this guy on the card battlefield, okay, as we'll call it. Let's go ahead and continue on, though, guys. All right, everybody, we have not taken a look at Aatrox's skins yet, so let's do that. So we've seen his original form quite a bit, and obviously I'm going to make my top 3. I like to make a top 3, like my favorite skins of when we go through all of these. I usually try to keep the original in the top 3 because I think the originals are usually some of the best, but let's go ahead and take a look. Right, I wasn't the biggest fan of some of his other skins that we saw in the gameplay spotlight, so I don't know. Like the Justicar, while it looks cool, it just doesn't fit his character. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I don't think I care for it so much. But let's move on. Let's look at another one. Oh, this is Mecha. So this is the one where I thought he looked like a Gundam. Yeah, and I was basically right. So he's like a, let's see, it says a Mecha Aatrox unit was developed in response to gliding kaiju. Okay, interesting. I think it's okay. But again, I don't know how I feel about it. What is this one? This one's called Sea Hunter. Oh, there he is on the right. Interesting. He's like a hammerhead shark. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm gonna be neutral about it for now, but I might. I just don't know. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those skins that I just don't know if I like it or not. Okay, Blood Moon is more my feel here. I like Blood Moon. I've seen some of the other Blood Moon skins. This one, yeah. Look at his arm, dude. His arm is massive on the left here with the claws too. And then the blade looks sick still. Like the red hue here, the red light. That looks really cool. I think the Blood Moon, top 3 for now. Then we have Prestige Blood Moon. I don't like it. I like the darker version, not this gold bright version. So let's go with the original Blood Moon for that one. And then we have Victorious. Victorious Aatrox was awarded to players who reached gold or higher in the 2019 season. Well, again, not feeling it because it's like not his colors. It feels more vibrant and like not like an evil character, right? So that's why I'm gonna go no so far with that one. But we'll see what we have left. We have Odyssey. Odyssey is kind of interesting. Like he looks like a Thanos type character almost in this. He looks evil. I want the character to look evil if they're actually evil, you know what I mean? So that's why like some of the other skins, This one, he still kind of looks evil. So I think Odyssey might be top 3 along with Blood Moon and the original for now. What else do we have? A different Prestige Blood Moon. And then what's last? Lunar Eclipse. Okay, so we have him going up against, like, oh, there's Kale on the other side. One of the few who took up the mantle of the Eclipse Knights in the days of old, Aatrox hopelessly pined for Kale's affection. But she can only ever love the blazing sun. Interesting. We don't get a good look at it here. Let me see if I could look at it down here. This isn't the original. That's like with a different color. This is the... Honestly, guys, the skins for Aatrox, not the biggest fan. I'm going to go with... Okay, this is what we're doing. Top 3. I'm going original. I'm going original number 1. Blood Moon number 2, and then I think I might do yeah, I'm doing this one. Might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm gonna do Odyssey number 3. Those are my top 3 skins for Aatrox. I think the rest are kind of I guess the Sea Beast one isn't bad either, or the Sea Hunter, but you know, I don't really know. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think of the skins. I'd like to know your guys' like favorite skins for Aatrox. All right, and then let's go down to the trivia. Now, this is the trivia for the character in League of Legends itself. This isn't like lore trivia, but sometimes we get a little insight into the character here, right? So out of universe, Aatrox is a wordplay on Latin Aatrox, fierce, savage, cruel, and turned from Atir, dull, black, dark. Interesting. All of these reference the Darkin weapon's physical manifestation and demonic nature. Punning on Darkin, various historical fire-based weapons, Scorched Earth. Okay, that's just kind of like where the name comes from. Aatrox, Dr. Mundo, Mordekaiser, Vladimir, and Zac are the only champions that use their own health as a resource for abilities. Okay, so Mundo, Mordekaiser, Vladimir, and Zac. Interesting. Enemies hit by a massacre will leave a blood trail between themselves and Aatrox that he will rapidly absorb. Okay, interesting. Aatrox can still use emotes during blood wells revived. Yeah, like some of this stuff I'm not going to understand because it's like in-game stuff and we don't play the actual game. But let's see. Steric's Gauge is speculated to have been Aatrox's missing left arm glove. Okay, I know that. I've seen that symbol before. Its passive was also coincidentally similar to Aatrox's. Interesting. Okay, so there's no like, it says it's speculated to have been. It's not confirmed. Prior to his rework. So yeah, I know he had a rework. Prior to his rework on the statement, this champion needs an update, players ranked Aatrox 5th in NA, 4th in BR, 3rd in KR, and 14th. He ranked 4th overall, so like on characters that actually needed an update. So I wonder what Aatrox was like before. We're not going to look into it, but you guys can let me know any of your thoughts or insights onto why Aatrox needed a rework. Just let me know. So now this is, I guess, what is this? Aatrox is the first champion since Lulu's patch introduced champion-specific login screens to receive 2 login screens and themes released for his classic skin. Oh, okay. So we have, introduced champion-specific login screens to receive 2 login screens and themes released for his classic skin. So wait, he has 2 login screens for his original skin? We haven't reacted to that yet, so I didn't know that. Interesting. We'll have to try to find those. In game, Aatrox can toggle his banner style wings at his sword stance. Aatrox is one of 24 champions without a single. Okay. The icon for World Ender is reused for the teamfight tactics item Darkin. Oh, okay. See that? Aatrox's Series 1 Eternals makes the following references. Shane's Yanked references the idiom Yank One's Chain as well as the pull. Okay, this is just other references. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the character lore trivia page for him now. All right, here we go. We're on the character lore page for Aatrox. Let's read on about his early life. Aatrox was born and raised in Shurima at the height of its power. He eventually became a champion of Shurima, being honored for his service to the Empire. Ascension. Aatrox was one of the first to be granted the gift of Ascension at the end of his life. During this time, he was loyal to the Shuriman Empire and had served it for all his life. He was noble and would not hesitate to help his fellow soldiers in battle. When he ascended, he was given a heightened role in the military. He participated in the battle against Akathia and helped drive back the Void from the region around it. The Darkin War and Imprisonment. Okay, so eventually the Shuriman Empire fell without a leader or an enemy. The Ascended clashed with each other, bringing ruin to the rest of Runeterra. Mortals eventually began to know the clashing Ascended as the Darkin, and an old Shuriman word which most closely translated to the Fallen. Fearing for the fate of Runeterra, the celestial beings of Targon intervened. The aspect of Twilight showed mortals how to bind Darkin to their weapons. However, the Darkin did not know this, and when the aspect of War rallied mortals behind him to fight the Darkin, Aatrox went into battle. His consciousness was bound to his battle sword and trapped in darkness. Aatrox was trapped in this darkness, trying to release himself for centuries. One day, an unknown mortal tried to wield Aatrox's sword. Aatrox quickly took over this human's body and reformed it as close to his original ascended form as possible, but in doing so, killed the body. So this is my question, or this is what's actually more interesting to me. Not more interesting, but this is what's a little bit interesting to me. So, you know, when we talk about the other Darkins, right? So Kane, you know, and Varys we haven't reacted to, but when we talk about the other Darkin characters, we get a little bit of background, or we do get the background on the mortal body that they actually took over, because they seem to be interesting, and like they seem to be the other Darkin seem to be a little bit more selective on who they pick for their mortal body, and then like it's almost like there's a relationship there. 100%. Aatrox is just all about taking over. He does not care who's he's taking. He cares only that the body that he's taking over is strong. That's all he cares about. He does not care about a relationship with the person, right? And so maybe that's why we don't really get like a background into the character. It's a little interesting that his philosophy is totally different than some of the other Darkin, right? Aatrox would eventually come to possess a variety of hosts, learning blood magic and getting better at taking over bodies, all the while trying to understand his new form and trying to escape it. He eventually realized that he could not escape his predicament. Out of desperation, Aatrox decided that he would instead plunge the world into oblivion, because if he could make it so everything could stop existing, then there was a chance that death would release him from this prison inside his weapon. Recent events says Aatrox continues to wreak havoc across Runeterra, taking over hosts and killing all that he sees, with his ultimate goal being to take revenge on the aspects and reach oblivion and death. Okay, so he does want to take revenge on the aspects too, though. Appearance. His imprisoned form is in the shape of a sword Aatrox wielded as a Darkin, a large red organic blade with sharp spikes and organic plating that mimics steel. A beating heart near its handle is his own life energy pulsating through the blade. His physical form often takes the form of his pre-imprisoned Darkin form. In this form, he has a big stature, standing taller than most mortals. His skin is red, brightest on his chest, and he has organic armor shells on various parts of his body, including his right arm, back, legs, and head. The armor shell on his head forms a helmet with 2 large horns, and on his back are 2 large wings that he often uses to raise himself from the ground and intimidate people. It is unknown what Aatrox looked like in his ascended form. However, it is known that he looks similar to his current form with wings and golden armor. Yeah, he probably looked really scary though. Like if that's what he looked like originally in his ascended form, that would be a scary looking ascended. Okay, personality. Before the Darkin War, Aatrox was known as a great champion in the vanguard of all noble conflicts. He was noble and loyal to the Shuriman Empire and didn't hesitate to help his fellow Ascended in battle. His conduct was true and just, as such he could easily rally troops behind him. The Void War deeply traumatized most Ascended, such as Aatrox. He would start having a more bleak views on the world, seeing no point in its further existence. He had a deep mistrust of others, as well as hating everyone that has wronged him. These tendencies would be kept in check until the fall of Shurima. His ruthlessness and anger were infamous even amongst other Darkin. This reputation would lead to his eventual imprisonment by the Aspects. His mind further deteriorated during unknown periods of time trapped in his sword prison. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense that like during these periods of time just being trapped as the sword, like his mind fully just went, right? During periods of time when he was able to take control of hosts, he would ruthlessly and with no hesitation take control of their bodies until they were beyond use. His ultimate goal is to plunge Runeterra into oblivion so that he could have a chance of finally dying. Yeah, so the sentence here about he just taking the bodies until they were beyond use, that's all he cared about. He just saw the bodies as a means to further his goal, right? While the other Darkin, it was a lot different. Okay, abilities. Hemomancy? Aatrox, just like any Darkin, has blood magic abilities. Oh, okay. Able to use blood as a weapon as well as a tool. Body manipulation. Aatrox can take over and change the form of the body of any mortal that wields Aatrox's sword. In order to change the form of their body, however, Aatrox needs to kill others and use their flesh and blood to change his form. He often uses his ability to get as close to his previous ascended form as possible. So, yeah, so I guess if anybody were trying to actually take out Aatrox, you would want to go after him when he's like, you know, still trying to build up his body. Like, obviously, like with the first time mortal like picks up the sword, they're going to be at the weakest, right? Or Aatrox is going to be at his weakest, and he needs to kill more people and get their blood. So, Ascension. Aatrox, just like any Darkin, started out as a Sunborn, which granted him immense physical abilities, gigantic size, and access to celestial magics. Immortality. Aatrox is immortal. His consciousness is trapped within his weapon, and the weapon is indestructible. There's no known way to permanently kill Aatrox. If anybody would be, or if they were to add it into lore later on, Riot, it would have to be like a Celestial would be the only person or people able to do it, right? That would be my thought anyways. Sword proficiency. Aatrox is trained in the use of his large sword, which is imbued with magic of the Ascended. He uses this in battle and killed the aspect of war with it. Yep. We did a Pantheon reaction too, but just his voice lines. So you guys want to check that out? We have that as well. Relations, aspects, and aspect hosts. Aatrox has deep hatred towards Targon, especially towards the aspect of war, who united many mortals to fight against Aatrox. During the ensuing battle, Aatrox was pulled into his own sword, and his consciousness was bound to it and trapped within it. Aatrox eventually battled the aspect in his weapon form while trying to reach the top of Mount Targon. He killed the aspect and left his host, Atreus, to die. Atreus survived and would later battle Aatrox and win. So Atreus, so Atreus is Pantheon, right? We know this. We did read a little, or we learned about this story a bit. So yeah, Aatrox hates Atreus and considers him a fool. Just that sentence alone is funny. I don't know why. Okay, the aspect of Twilight is the one primarily responsible for the Darkin's defeat in the Darkin Wars and their subsequent imprisonment, as the aspect showed humans how to trap the Darkin within their weapons. Because of this, Aatrox hates the aspect and wants to kill it and all its hosts. Yeah, we're talking about Zoe. Leona regards Aatrox with disdain as he has no care for the lives of those under his command. Aatrox's hatred for the... Yeah, this is what I was talking about. He does not care about the lives under his command. Aatrox's hatred for the aspects likely extends to Leona as the aspect of the sun. Okay. We haven't reacted to Leona yet, but I am curious about Leona. Darkin host. Aatrox's current host is human male of unknown identity and origin. The host has been thoroughly corrupted to Aatrox's will and is no longer salient. It is unknown if Aatrox has ever changed hosts, although he has been known to groom potential hosts. Tryndamere. Aatrox was responsible for decimating most of Tryndamere's tribe and sees him as an ideal host, while Tryndamere regards Aatrox with animosity. Oh, so is that literally... So that's the relationship with Tryndamere that we saw on the biography page. So he was the one responsible for decimating most of Tryndamere's tribe, and he also sees Tryndamere as an ideal host. That's probably true, but Tryndamere obviously hates him. Okay, what do we have here? We have a little bit more trivia. I'm interested. Aatrox's backstory references well-known war deities, especially Greek Ares, Mesopotamian Nergal, and Semitic Resif. I've never heard of Nergal or Resif, but Ares, of course, right? Aatrox is between 4,396 and 5,996 years old, being amongst the first Shuriman ascended. While it was never stated what manner of creature Aatrox would have been, he was known to be winged and likely something of noble character, given his rise to become ascended, and the nature of his conduct. He was a warrior of noble aspect, and to fall so low, in his opinion, was the greatest travesty, which makes him very angry, right? Which is why he wants to, the world to go into oblivion. Aatrox, along with Anivia, Aurelian Soul, Evelyn, Fizz, Kindred, Urgot, Volibear, Yumi, Zyra, and all Voidborn champions, is technically nude. Wait, okay. His armor is actually mortal flesh carved by Bloodmag. So wait, who's also nude? No, I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, so we've reacted to Aurelian Soul, nude, huh? Okay, but they have like armor. I don't know. Okay, Evelyn. Okay, I guess. Yeah, we've reacted to Evelyn. Kindred, we've only done the voice lines. Urgot, we've reacted. Is he technically naked? They all have armor. You know what I mean? Like, they're wearing armor. I feel like if you're wearing armor or a suit or something, you're not technically naked. I don't know. Okay, Volibear. Yeah, okay. Anyways, all right, we'll let that one slide. It's possible Illua's god could free/kill Aatrox's human soul. Okay, we have not reacted to Illua, but Illua keeps coming up. Illua's god could free/kill Aatrox's human soul and allow that soul to return to the cosmos. But it's complicated because the celestial concept Aatrox merged with and gained his ascended powers from has been trapped/deleted. Literally, the ideal/idea he represented ceased to exist when he was trapped. Humans no longer could even have the thought or idea of what he was the avatar of. Okay, interesting. You guys will have to maybe let me know a little bit more about that one. Aatrox was one of the most powerful ascended. Before his imprisonment, Aatrox had fought and killed spirit gods, avatars like Ornn, other celestial empowered beings, and possibly other Darkin. Later, he killed the aspect of war himself. We know that. Aatrox has spent the most time imprisoned, and since his was the first, it was also an imperfect one that likely damaged him in the process. Oh, he's damaged. Oh, that makes more sense now too. By the time the mages had imprisoned Varys, they'd perfected the process a little more. He was literally the guinea pig because he was the first. So no wonder this dude wants to kill all of you. He's probably, yeah, okay. Aatrox seems to have been reaving in the north of Valoran, including the Freljord. To be reaving? Meaning just like killing people? Or right? Okay. Demon Blade Tryndamere may be a representative of what if Aatrox changed hosts. Oh. Demon Blade Tryndamere. Interesting. We haven't reacted to Tryndamere, but yeah, this could be like a Darkin Aatrox Tryndamere. Interesting. Cool. All right, is that it for the trivia? This was actually really good. We learned a lot from just this little trivia portion. I loved it. And then some of the relationship stuff up here, and then just like his abilities. You know, he is immortal. I knew that, but like hearing it here, you know, there's no known way to permanently kill Aatrox. I think that's very interesting as well. We just got more insight to his personality as to why he wants to do it, you know, why he wants to kill all the aspects, why he hates them, and just some of the relationships I thought were very interesting. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts on Aatrox as a whole. What do you guys think of his character? What do you think of his personality? What do you think of like the Darkin in general? That's another good question, I think. And yeah, what do you guys want to see from his lore in the future is another question, because I always like knowing where Riot has left the character lore-wise. His character is a little bit different, I would say, lore-wise, because his is pretty open-ended. Like, we know his end goal, and we kind of just know he's killing people. He's out there killing people, taking hosts. That's it. They could go a lot of places with his character. Like, some big thing could happen at any moment with Aatrox, right? Like, in the next 2023, you know, cinematic or something, or 2024 or whatever, they could randomly put Aatrox in there, and then, like, he's doing something crazy in the trailer, which would be really cool. I want to see more of Aatrox is basically what I'm saying. It looks like the most recent stuff was the Legends of Runeterra stuff. You know, he's just added to the game. But I want to see more lore for Aatrox. I want to see what they do with the Darkin, what happens with the Darkin. Maybe there's going to be a big Celestial Darkin war or something like that ensuing soon. Who knows? Anyways, let's go ahead and keep moving on with our stuff. I think all we have left is the interactions. So go ahead and stay tuned. All right, I always get really excited when we get to the login screens and the themes, so let's check it out. Aatrox the Darkin Blade. Ooh, just those 3 little notes there. Creepy. We got a 4th note. It's gonna go into the heavy metal, isn't it? I knew it. Dude, Riot kills it every time with these login screens. I tell you. Okay, I feel like it hasn't dropped yet. It definitely has not dropped yet. Dude, it goes so hard. It goes so hard. Ooh, okay. Oh, get more drums. Dude, perfect music for Aatrox, honestly. How do they kill it every time? Like... It just like feels like Doom too, right? The second part here. I love those 3 little notes too. Those 3 little notes they do. All right, and then it just slowly fades away. Very good, man. I don't know what else to say about it, but that was perfect. Riot kills it every time in the music department. Whoever they're hiring to do the music, I don't imagine it's the same people for every theme. They got to be hiring people to do it. Kill it every time. Honestly, whoever is doing the hiring or whoever is making the music, everybody involved in the music for Riot, you guys are doing a great job. Continue doing what you're doing. That's all I have to say. All right, everybody, we're checking out the Aatrox Special Interactions by Skin Spotlights. Let's get into it. Here we go. I'm ready. Enemy flashes mastery.
I must congratulate you. Obviously, your parents never had reason to.
Oh my god. Holy crap. Right off the gate, dude. What? What did I just hear? That voice line's in the game?
Varus, V-A-R-U-S. Your name should have an A and then another A. Varus. There was a memo, Varus. There was a memo.
Wait. Okay.
We all agreed on the double A thing, Varus. The double A thing.
Oh my god, these are hilarious.
A scythe? Are you planning on murdering fields of wheat?
Oh my god, these lines are hilarious. Holy crap, why are they so funny?
The noblest weapon, Rast. You. Seriously, I don't understand. Were you trapped in the gardening section?
Oh, that's the double A thing. Okay.
I will find a way
Argonian.
to tear down the heavens and reveal you as fiends. Not today, obviously.
Why? Okay, hold on. This is throwing me off. Okay, I'm trying to remember. Were the voice lines when I originally reacted to those in another video, were they this funny? Why is Aatrox so funny? Okay. I think they were.
Do I resemble you, abomination?
Haunting a void creature.
Your form isn't my destiny. Is it?
We don't know too much about the void, I will say.
Do you?
Huh?
Shit.
Wait,
Tricks are cunning.
what is happening?
They will not hide you from me.
What is happening? Oh my god. These voice lines are 10 out of 10. What is happening?
Doom. Another foolish god.
Oh?
Even the phoenix shall end.
I don't know. Hold on. We gotta talk about that. Although he can kill or has killed other gods, kind of like Ornn, he hasn't killed Ornn or Anivia or Volibear, technically. Do we think, right, like Aatrox would take out Anivia? You guys will have to let me know. Camille.
Scissors for legs.
We love Camille.
Okay, I thought I had seen stupid designs before. All right, let's go.
Dude, I love Camille, though. All right.
Look at your noble courage, Darius. Now learn despair.
Dude, Aatrox goes 10 out of 10 hard in these voice lines.
Mundo. Now face judgment.
Mundo looks funny.
I know
Fiora?
your name, Fiora. This is not a duel. You shall win.
Dude. So badass.
Statue? Rock shatters as easily as bone. Come.
He's got a voice line for everybody. I love it.
Oranges? Are you a cliche or a joke? Come. Fight.
Dude, Aatrox is so badass, man.
Scream Demacia, Garen. Scream its name before I crush you. And it.
Dude, that's so cool.
Kill God's priestess. Let us continue this fight until all things stop.
Okay. Jax.
A worthy vessel. Come, Jax.
Okay, that's it.
You would rush
Kaisa?
towards me, Kaisa? What fool would build a strategy on that idea? Come, let us begin.
He keeps saying come to everybody.
Let me show you your error, Kale.
Oh.
You are not worthy of ascension. You are not worthy of the worms.
Dude, to say that to Kale? Damn.
I did not think my fellows weak, Rost. Already you disappoint me. Ooh, a shadow warrior. How edgy.
That goes to show you again that Aatrox does not care about the mortal bodies he takes over.
A lightning squirrel? Thank you. Your death will amuse me.
Yo, you can't say that about Kennen. I use him in TFT. Come on.
Are you a joke, you loud, horrible thing?
Oh, he hates
I shall
Yordles.
kill you and your steed.
No, don't kill. Dude, he hates
Where is
Yordles.
your head, rock thing? Where is the neck I shall sever?
I think it's like right here. Oh my god, hold on. I haven't reacted to Malphite, but yeah, his head is kind of small, guys.
Am I challenged
Okay.
by a tree? Fine. Let me build a pyre from you. You
Morgana.
would bind yourself to this realm, Morgana? Mm-hmm. Fine. Let me show you the ground.
Yeah, because okay, I know that reference. Because she clipped her wings, right? We reacted to Kayla Morgana. Go watch that. She clipped her wings because she wanted to be, you know what I mean? More. She didn't like her powers or whatever. She wanted to be more with the Earth, or not
Is
Earth,
your
but
wisdom
Runeterra.
enough to know your fate? I am your death.
Is your wisdom enough to know your fate? Okay.
Your noble purpose amuses me, Nautilus. Fight me. See true death.
Orn.
Father Orn, god of fire and forge.
Okay. Oh, he's laughing about that.
Aatrox, and I am the god killer.
Dude. Yeah. I don't know. I think that would be a good fight, though. Uh-oh. Here we go. Pantheon.
How noble and proud he carries himself. Come, betrayer.
That shield is massive.
Fiend.
Yeah, he's going to have some words for Pantheon.
Hail, Pantheon. Let me hear you cry of friendship. Let me hear you scream of brotherhood. Hail, Pantheon. See the weapon I have become. Watch as you are destroyed.
Dude, oh my god, Pantheon's feet are massive. I just saw it.
Bird? You
Quinn?
challenge me with a bird? Come.
Dude, his laugh is great. His laugh is so good.
Done.
Renekton.
In your madness, you know my suffering, though I shall end yours.
Okay, I know this mostly because I know a little bit about the story of Renekton, because wasn't he like locked away or imprisoned for a couple hundred years before Nasus could break him out, and like he went mad, right? And now he's like evil. I think that's the story there.
Riven.
Okay, we just reacted to Riven.
Child, that broken blade is no match for me.
Okay, just talking about her blade.
You would challenge
Rumble.
me in a machine? You are a strange spirit, Rumble.
Who the heck even is Rumble? I've never heard of Rumble.
A spirit blade master Shen? Test it against me. Let me shatter your illusion.
Ooh, I love that line. Let me shatter your illusions. That's so good.
Yes, Scion. I kill even that which will not die.
We are going to react to Scion soon.
End all things.
Don't know anything about him, though.
Hail the Protector. Hail Darkin. Aspect of... Get a haircut.
Wait, but look at his hair, dude. It's like flowing in the wind, man. Come on. I think that's jealousy. Did we just hear jealousy out of Aatrox? I'm pretty sure that's jealousy, actually.
Cowardly spirit. How annoying you are.
Dude, he hates Yordles.
Favor killing you, Demo.
He really hates Yordles. You could tell.
A troll?
Trundle.
king? Come, defend your throne.
Aha.
Of trolls.
Wow. He's going to take your throne, man. Oh, Tryndamere. Here we go.
Yes, Tryndamere.
He wants your body.
I am the cause of your suffering. See if you can cut justice from me. Rage? You are just flesh, Tryndamere, ready for harvesting. I wait for you, Tryndamere.
He wants your body, bro.
Take your vengeance.
Good.
Remember the screams of your kinsmen as you fall
Oh,
to
that's
me,
savage.
Tryndamere.
That's a little too far.
You would end worlds
Varus again.
as a bow? I will not.
Okay, so this is a commonality with his other Darkin brethren. He just makes fun of their weapon. He's like, bro, why aren't you a sword? The sword's the best.
Send you to death, Yorick. I bring oblivion.
Yeah, because Yorick technically, yeah.
I know it was you,
Can't die.
trickster. You
Yep.
gave them the tools to trap me.
Yep.
Come, let me kill you.
He wants to kill Zoe so bad.
1,000 times isn't enough.
But would we say no, she couldn't die to him, right? being a Celestial. I feel like it's a no, even though he's said to be able to kill Celestials, right? I feel like this thing wouldn't happen. I don't know. I'm just hypotheticals. Oh, killing Aatrox. Killing Nivea.
An endless cycle of life. A dead blood.
Camille.
What foolish plan bore a woman such as you, Camille?
Whoa.
You were a folly crafted by an idiot.
Whoa.
The axe suited you, Darius. The weapon of a simpleton.
Okay.
I
Damn.
expected you to be nimble, Fiora.
Right.
Too easily, my blade crushed your spine.
Damn.
Yo
Gangplank.
ho, gangplank. Yo ho.
It's pretty good.
Demacia! Whatever Demacia is, I will slay it next.
I'm glad that we can all just make fun of Garen, right?
In time, I will learn how to kill even your god Ilaoi.
Ilaoi? Is that how you say her name?
I
Okay.
cannot know if I was corrupted by the void, but at least my choices were not asinine.
I do need to react to Kaisa soon.
Die, Kale, knowing your potential will never be reached.
Technically, he does want to kill Kale because she's an aspect now, right?
Incompetence. What is property? Why did this dead hamster want me off of it?
Oh, that's so great. We do have a Kled reaction, and he pretty much just wants people off of his lawn, right? Or off his property, off his land. There's a big, long story that we read for his character, and it's just him getting people off of his land. It's great.
I kill mountains, Malphite. Dumb piles of rocks. Hear me, G-Spirit. Your form is but kindling, and your forests I will burn.
Okay.
You
Morgana?
disgust me, Morgana. Die in the filth of your bound flesh.
Yeah, he thinks Morgana made the biggest mistake possible trying to bind herself to the ground, you know?
Yes, Shurima was meant to fall, Narcissus. As were you.
See, I don't think that's true. I don't think he thought that. This is just his thinking now, right?
Were you. Journey back to the deep.
We don't know anything about Nautilus.
Odd. Like all gods, you disappoint. Pantheon.
Oh, we might get a couple of for
forward
these.
like a worm, ready to be squashed again.
Hey, calling him a worm.
Now your body matches your blade riven,
I understand that.
broken and worthless.
Dang.
Die, Shen. Knowing the eye of the twilight is blinded and plucked.
The eye of the twilight is blinded and plucked. I don't understand that
Fought
one.
to live, Scion. Yet it is I who am still alive. This at least amuses. Lord of Starlight.
Lord of Starlight.
Hair.
Lord of Hair.
Trample on your corpse. Tarek. I spit on your aspect's purpose.
Man, he just is jealous of his hair.
The spirit for cowards. I laugh at your tricks and mushrooms. I taught you my next vessel, Chandemir.
Uh-huh.
Pity. You failed even to become a slave. Return again to your prison.
That's Varys.
Think upon your worthlessness.
Your worthlessness.
Honestly, a bow and 2 boys? What was your plan, Varys?
We need to do Varys soon.
Oh, I loathe
We
your
really do.
freedom, trickster. I will take this vengeance upon you until the end of times.
Damn.
Come, fight me.
All right, first encounter with any champion.
This violence shall amuse.
So these are going to be a lot more general.
Your death awaits. Pray, fool. You face a Darkin.
Dude, the way he says that, you face a Darkin, it's like so cool.
Come closer. I will show you darkness. Our duel begins.
That's scary.
You die a fool. This was reckoning. I brought you the one true gift. I brought you death.
Brought you death.
Carnage, my last joy.
Huh.
To the end of times, I shall kill you again and again.
Damn.
This is my gift to mortals.
Death, darkness, one of them.
This is your absolution. I will have silence.
I mean, I can honestly tell you guys, I see why everybody loves his voice lines and his character. The personality they gave this dude.
In your deaths. Your broken form speaks only of failure.
Like, they wrote his character so well to make him so funny
Return.
and such a badass at the same time.
You again.
Yeah, like that right there.
I come for you, Pantheon.
Oh, okay, Pantheon attacking him.
The power
Specifically.
of an aspect wasted on a fool. I killed your tribe. Now join them.
Do we know why he killed Trindamir's tribe?
This is your destiny.
Like, why? Just because he's been up there in Freljord just killing people?
Cut you and tear you from existence.
I wonder if he's like was looking for something up there though.
Change. Now you die.
Oh my god. That man was full on screaming.
Mastery, well done.
Oh, here we go.
Now master your insignificance.
Oh, it's so good.
Yes, your mastery is the master of masters. I am fighting an imbecile.
Dude, I love his voice lines for enemy flashing mastery.
Oh, I doubt you've mastered self-esteem.
Oh my god, I love that.
Mastery. How I idolize your greatness, though I suspect your weapon lacks impact.
That's so good. All right, let's pause it. Let's pause it. We got to talk about this. Yeah, so I'm going to just repeat it again. The amount of funny this man has, along with also being a scary individual at the same time, makes him such a funny and just such a good character, I guess I will say. I don't fully remember all of the voice lines. So we reacted to his voice lines probably like a month or so ago, maybe 2 months ago now. And I didn't do the special interactions. That's on me because I didn't fully understand how much lore and videos out there are that I needed to watch. But now I do understand. So now all my future videos I've been doing voice lines and the interactions. And they're insane. These are just 10 out of 10. If I could give this 11 out of 10, I would. Like, these are the best voice lines because they just created such a good combination of making this character scary and funny. And it's not like bad funny. It's like actually hilarious. Like, I am laughing out loud like at his voice lines. They're so good. The ones where the enemies flashing the mastery are just so well written, and his voice, whoever does the voice for him, obviously they do something to the voice, whoever does the voice lines for Aatrox, but it's just so, it's like perfect. There's nothing, I can't even give any notes. I can't say anything bad about the voice lines for this character. Aatrox is such a cool character. Voice lines alone. If I didn't know, if all we reacted to, right, was his voice lines and his special interactions, and I didn't get the actual lore into his story, I would still give this dude a 10 out of 10 for the voice lines. They were so good. Speaking of Rumble, is Rumble a character in the game? I've never heard of Rumble, by the way. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts on Aatrox. I know you guys already did that in my previous video because this is going to be like a part 2, but I do want to hear, let me know everything you know about Aatrox. Let me know what you think about his background and his story, where you guys want to see his story go to next. Let me know what you think of his voice lines. Give me your favorite one of his. I'm sure some of you, there's probably a lot of Aatrox fans out there. So you guys have to have like a favorite voice line or something, or favorite interactions with a certain character. Like, do you like his interactions the best with like Pantheon or something, or Trindamir or something, right? I think his character, I want to see where his lore goes. I really do. So if he's really, truly, it's kind of like Man, there's a few characters like this, I guess, in Runeterra, but like he's one of the characters that wants to just, you know, he wants full oblivion for Runeterra personally. But like there's other characters like him, like Mordekaiser wants to come back and just like take over as well. There's a lot of characters that want to just see the world destroyed, right? So I'm curious to see what they do with his lore in the future. And I keep mentioning this as of late. I know this is like way years out in the future, but maybe in the MMO that they're possibly working on, that, you know, maybe he'll be incorporated in that game as like a big raid boss or something. I could definitely see that, honestly. I think he would be a perfect raid boss in the MMO for League of Legends. So Riot, take my idea. I mean, obviously it's a easy idea to come up with if I'm coming up with it. Anyways, just to recap, honestly, Aatrox, one of my favorite characters so far we have reacted to. Obviously, you guys have shown some love with the previous video and the views on that voice lines reaction, and I have obviously seen it from other videos as well. A lot of people love to see reactions to Aatrox, and it makes sense. He seems to be one of the more popular characters when it comes to their story, when it comes to their voice lines. And I'll be honest, I didn't know anything about Aatrox until the last couple of months. So I'm really glad you guys have shown me the light. You guys steered me in the right course towards Aatrox and reacting to his character, as well as the other Darkin. Like I did love reacting to Kane. And then we do need to get to Varus, because Varus was in this one as well quite a bit. So I will get to Varus eventually. So I would love for you guys to come subscribe to the channel, and I'll react to Varus very, very soon. And yeah, guys, I'd appreciate it if you left a like and left a comment on the video. It helps the YouTube algorithm. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.